If you're paying attention, did you catch who mysteriously vanished from the 50 Cent documentary? Everyone did. The series shattered records, yet Jaguar Wright says it also shattered a promise. She insists the real accomplices list was quietly erased from the final cut to shield Netflix's investors. And the messiest part, she claims 50 Cent helped make it disappear. This is the list they never wanted exposed. Want proof? I need you to study this image and identify every face in it. I guarantee no YouTuber dared spotlight this picture in their breakdown. So why is censorship working overtime here? Now, as you already know, 50 Cent dropped the Diddy documentary, and the audience reaction was, let's be honest, pretty ugly. From insiders like Gene Deal to Jaguar Wright, critics slammed it, calling it carefully scripted. They blasted it for burying names like Jay-Z and Beyoncé, who are allegedly central figures in Diddy's criminal orbit. Look, I know, you clicked because you heard Jaguar Wright went full nuclear on the Netflix project. And frankly, you should be curious. While everyone obsesses over what made the docket, Jaguar exposed what hit the cutting room floor. And believe me, it wasn't removed for being boring. Jaguar Wright questions whether 50 Cent is really tearing down another black man or staging his own vindication arc. She labels the project a mockumentary, saying almost nothing surprised her except a few witness confessions. But here's the wild twist. She now claims 50 Cent is far worse than Diddy and Jay-Z. According to her, he's chasing control of hip-hop by pretending to be the savior he absolutely is not.
There was an actual documentary being worked on.
Well, see, this is the thing. I can believe that it was happening. At what purpose? See, and that's the thing. Like, my opinion about all of this stuff is so much different than your average person's, and my outlook is so much different than your average person's. Did I believe that it was possible? Absolutely. Why wouldn't he be able to do a documentary? Why wouldn't he be able to bring in Alexandria to come and put this together? Like, the woman who directed this, she doesn't even seem to have a background in hip-hop at all.
Before we dive into what Jaguar leaked, you need to know what really went down. Relax, I'm skipping the long history lesson and sticking strictly to the juice, because everyone's time matters. 50 Cent spent nearly 2 years assembling this 4-part Netflix series. It tracks Diddy's life from his Harlem childhood, through Bad Boy's rise, straight to his recent arrest. We're talking a deep dive into one of hip-hop's biggest moguls. As we already know, the documentary features never-before-seen footage of Diddy speaking with his lawyers days before the arrest. There are interviews with inner circle insiders. There are even conversations with actual jurors from his trial. That's insane, right? That level of access almost never happens. But here's the problem, and it matters. Not everyone meant to appear actually survived the final cut. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard who likely knows the most dirt, was cut. Why? Disputes with director Alex Stapleton over money and creative control. And Jaguar? Her footage was labeled too controversial for Netflix. Sit with that. Too controversial for a documentary about a man convicted of serious crimes. So now the question is obvious. If this was supposed to be the reckoning, why was so much removed? Why are we only seeing pieces? When Jaguar started speaking on the documentary, she made one thing clear. Almost nothing in it was new to her. She's watched this story unfold for years, quietly from the background. She already knew what would stay and what would vanish. But one moment stopped her cold. Kirk Burroughs finally admitted he'd been abused by Diddy. That's massive. Kirk was there over 30 years. He witnessed internal chaos decades ago. He was close during Diddy's most formative years. He knows him inside and out. To Jaguar, Kirk confirmed what Whispers had said for years. Now let's get to Jaguar's words, because she didn't hold back. She called the project a mockumentary. Not a documentary, a mockumentary. She says it insults the viewer's intelligence. According to her, 80% of those episodes repeat information she's publicly shared for years. She literally said the entire thing felt like it was mocking her. You might think she's just bitter about being excluded. Wait, listen to what's missing. When you see the full picture, her anger makes sense. This isn't ego. This is truth diluted to protect powerful people. And once you notice who's absent, it gets suspicious fast. We're about to talk about the names quietly erased. Brace yourself. Here's where it gets interesting. Jaguar says major industry players barely appear. Some don't appear at all. People who were right in the middle of everything. Jay-Z gets mentioned once or twice. That's it. Which is wild. He wasn't really there, yet he was everywhere. Right after Diddy assaulted Steve Stout, Jay-Z popped up on Rivera shortly after. Same timeline, same circle. So why act like he wasn't involved? He was involved plenty. The real question is why he wasn't named. And here's the kicker. Tons of others vanished too. Not many industry insiders who were present ever get named. Cute, right? They told the story while keeping everyone else spotless. Think about that. Jay-Z and Diddy were linked for decades. They built empires, shared rooms, shared people. Yet in 4 episodes, Jay-Z barely exists. That doesn't add up. And Jaguar isn't buying it. She's saying what others won't. Connecting dots people fear. And if Jay-Z's absence feels strange, wait until Clive Davis comes up. He owned 51% of Bad Boy Records. Majority control. Yet in a series about Bad Boy and Diddy, he gets about 35 seconds. Make that make sense. When asked the most corrupt celebrity she's known, Jaguar answered instantly. Clive Davis, devil incarnate.
The worst celebrity, like, that you've been around is like the most full of sin. I know no sin is greater, but like, just was like, damn, this
Clive Davis, devil incarnate. Clive Davis, Janis Joplin, he blackmailed Betty Wright so she wouldn't tell anybody that he Janis Joplin. He killed Whitney Houston.
She didn't pause. She went straight at Clive Davis, then dropped verbal grenades. According to Jaguar, Clive Davis killed Janis Joplin. He allegedly blackmailed Betty Wright into silence. She says he killed Whitney Houston. Yes, it sounds outrageous. Yes, some of you are already thinking, is that even possible? But here's the uncomfortable part. Jaguar has been right before. Statements people once dismissed as insanity years ago are now lining up with reality. So when a man who controlled 51% of Bad Boy Records, a man with more power than Diddy himself, appears for less than a minute on screen, questions matter. What's being protected? Who's being shielded? And what leverage does Clive Davis hold that keeps his name barely whispered? Now things spiral further. Jaguar spotted something massive most viewers missed entirely. Diddy was shaping potential jurors' minds long before any arrest. The documentary shows Diddy recording everything. Everything. When federal agents appeared near his hotel room, he wasn't afraid. He wasn't hiding. He filmed them back. Strange, right? Then it gets stranger. You hear Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, talking strategy, public perception, control. Then the line that should alarm everyone. We're losing. We need control. We need to reach potential jurors. Pause. He wasn't arrested yet. He wasn't detained. Yet they were already discussing how to influence jurors' thinking.
Tell me.
Dealing with Combs Enterprise, they come in and they work and they don't get paid.
Oh yeah. Oh, we gonna build up to it real quick.
Yeah. So he was able to sell that footage to whomever he chose. The question is, how did anybody know about it? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the part that, it's so funny because people they get so excited. But when you've got a lawyer like Mark Agnifilo, who is orchestrating your possible surrender, because as you heard him say in the beginning of the documentary, he was very clear. It's almost the middle of September and there's no indictment. As you heard Diddy say, I've been an exemplary client like you've asked. You said I've been an excellent client. I came here. I did everything you asked me to do. Mm-hmm. That's what they're literally having this conversation.
Yeah, in that conversation, Diddy was worried about the outlook of the public versus the victim.
Outlook of the public? Oh, he was worried a lot more than that. You don't think? He literally sat there and said, we need comms. She's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what? What are you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors. He said, you might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said, we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking.
Jaguar dissects this flawlessly. She's asking the questions everyone's dodging. They were losing. Losing what exactly? Losing how? He wasn't even charged yet they were already plotting to contaminate the jury pool. And honestly, judging by how everything unfolded, that strategy might have worked. The documentary itself could be part of the propaganda engine. Think about it. 50 Cent drops a documentary that explodes online. Millions tune in. And while watching, opinions form. Those opinions can easily shape potential jurors if this ever reaches trial again. That's not justice. That's manipulation. And Jaguar sees straight through it. Now brace yourself, because this next part is uncomfortable, but it has to be said. Jaguar claims footage involving Justin Bieber and Diddy was removed from the documentary, and once you hear the context, it gets disturbing fast. According to Jaguar, Diddy had been trying to get close to Justin Bieber for years, but Bieber's management kept blocking it. They sensed something was off and stepped in. Credit to them, right? Then Usher took over management. Usher, who already had a complicated history with Diddy, allegedly gave Diddy temporary guardianship of Justin Bieber for 48 hours. 48 hours with a teenage boy. And this was after Bieber had already been hospitalized for something. Jaguar doesn't specify what, but she says Gene Deal discussed it publicly. So let's break this down. Diddy had been circling Bieber for a while, and management kept pushing him away. But once Usher took control and had guardianship, Diddy suddenly gets 48 hours. Think about that. Bieber had already been hospitalized. That situation Gene Deal mentioned. And you still took him there, but only after securing custody first. Does that sound like protection? Does that sound like a good guy? Knowing what we now know about Diddy, why would Usher hand a teenage Justin Bieber over to him? Jaguar says this footage exists somewhere, but it never made the Netflix cut. She believes major names like Usher and Justin Bieber were shielded, possibly through legal pressure or financial deals. And honestly, that tracks. Including that footage would raise brutal questions about celebrities who knew what was happening and stayed silent, or worse, those who actively helped it happen. And this brings us to why Jaguar is truly furious. Because she doesn't believe 50 Cent made this documentary out of pure intentions. Listen carefully to what she says next.
Now we get to the heart of why Jaguar is so angry. Because she doesn't believe 50 Cent made this documentary out of the goodness of his heart. Listen to what she says.
50 Cent is trying to take down Diddy.
No, he's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him. Because the truth is, he would just be another kind of monster in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it.
Let that really sink in. She's saying 50 Cent isn't trying to protect victims. He isn't chasing justice. He's trying to erase competition so he can dominate. And when you actually think about it, the theory tracks. 50 Cent has been beefing with Diddy for more than 20 years. He's mocked him non-stop, trolled him online, posted jokes, the entire routine. And now, suddenly, he's producing a documentary about accountability and justice. Jaguar isn't buying that angle. And honestly, neither am I. She says it plainly. The easiest move is grabbing your enemy by the ankles and holding them over the fire for truths you know they'll never confess. That's why, when a cease and desist landed, he quietly pulled all the Diddy content because of his tape. Hold up, 50 Cent removed material after receiving a cease and desist? That doesn't sound fearless. That sounds like someone guarding secrets. And Jaguar doesn't stop there. She goes further. She threatens to expose 50 Cent for allegedly allowing toxic waste dumping near his Millennium Studios property in Shreveport in exchange for money. That allegation alone flips the savior narrative completely upside down fast.
Curtis Jackson, they should check the EPA report since he's been there and the toxic waste he's been allowing to be dumped around the property of Millennium Studios for cheap cash. And I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. You know what you've been doing.
She says she isn't speaking in hypotheticals. She claims she knows exactly what he's been doing and says she has receipts. Then she delivers a warning. Do right by Shreveport, or I'll tell everyone that Diddy's mess isn't the only flavor you've tasted. Boom. That's a direct shot. She's implying 50 Cent has secrets of his own he's desperate to keep buried. Skeletons that could completely shatter his image as the so-called hero taking down the villain. And here's what people are really starting to notice. Something worth pausing on. 50 Cent goes after everyone. Say his name wrong, and he's coming. He's the king of petty. He'll sue you. He'll clown you online. He'll humiliate you publicly. He'll expose you. He'll confront you head-on. But there's one person he's never touched. Jaguar Wright. Why her?
He isn't just as bad as Diddy. 50 actually has a heart. He's a lovable thug, you know? Somebody should ask Soulja Boy how loving he is. He's very loving. All that time they spent together and the way he believed in him. Oh my God. They were almost inseparable. Truth is, Curtis is a swish.
been a Swish for many years. Everyone knows it. The reason why I haven't got behind Curtis Jackson is because the only reason he wants them out of the way is so he can take over.
Think about this. Jaguar Wright has said some extremely serious things about 50 Cent. This isn't the first time she's called him out. She's accused him of actions that would normally send 50 into nuclear mode on anyone, yet he's never reacted. He's never sued her. He's never posted about her. He's never clapped back. Nothing. Why? Why would the king of petty, the man who attacks anyone over anything, remain completely silent when Jaguar Wright levels serious accusations at him? Some people are starting to think that maybe, just maybe, Jaguar has something on him. Maybe she has tapes. Maybe she has proof. Maybe she knows things that 50 Cent desperately doesn't want exposed. Because let's be honest, if Jaguar were just making things up, 50 would have destroyed her by now. He would have embarrassed her on Instagram. He would have sued her for defamation. He would have done something. But he hasn't. And that silence is screaming loudly. But Jaguar isn't only focused on 50 Cent. She's now got her sights locked on someone even bigger. Someone who's managed to stay outside the spotlight throughout this entire Diddy saga. Jay-Z. A few months ago, Jaguar said it's Jay-Z who is setting Diddy up. And now, with new information surfacing that Diddy allegedly has tapes on Jay-Z, we can see exactly why Jay-Z would be actively trying to eliminate Diddy. And then she asks a question that lands hard and leaves the room uncomfortably silent, watching, waiting, listening closely. What does she mean by that? Well, she lays out Jay-Z's entire pattern. He lined up DeHaven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. He lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one. He always wants to be the one on top. But then Jaguar drops an even bigger bomb. She claims that allegedly Sean Carter is responsible for getting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him and so he could level up Beyoncé, who was struggling at the time. Now, let's just say allegedly that happened. Think about this. Think about 106 and Park with Mary J. Blige and Free. Mary J. Blige, who was allegedly a victim of Sean Carter, and Free, who was allegedly a victim of Sean Diddy Combs. They're sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. The manipulation, the control, the ability to make people perform grief on camera while knowing the truth. That's not just power. That's something darker. That's evil. And speaking of things being hidden, Jaguar has been talking about a woman named Kathy White. And what she's saying about Kathy White is absolutely chilling. Jaguar claims Diddy is in possession of footage of Kathy White being killed. And here's the thing. Kathy White was Jay-Z's pregnant mistress. She died of what was officially called an aneurysm. But Jaguar isn't buying that story. She says the killer isn't a man. She's implying it was a woman. And then she says something directly to Diddy. If what Jaguar Wright is saying is true, if Diddy really does have footage of what happened to Kathy White, it changes everything. Proof. Video evidence. A murder disguised as a natural death. And if Jay-Z is involved, if Beyoncé is involved, we're talking about a scandal bigger than the music industry. Conspiracy to commit murder. High-level cover-ups. So, who else should be held accountable? Jaguar has a list, and she's not holding back. Stevie J, charged. Mary J. Blige, charged. Jennifer Lopez, definitely charged. Jay-Z, charged. DJ Khaled, charged. Rick Ross, charged. Usher, charged, especially for what allegedly happened with Justin Bieber. That's a lot of heavy hitters, all tied to Diddy or Jay-Z, or both. Jaguar isn't saying they're all guilty, but she believes they all knew, saw, and stayed silent. In her eyes, that silence equals complicity. That silence makes them part of the problem. Someone asked her why Diddy is falling now. Why the timing? Her answer, perfect. He's the acceptable monster at this moment, just like R. Kelly was. The industry doesn't care about justice. It doesn't care about victims. It cares about control. When someone becomes too uncontrollable, too risky, that's when they're the acceptable monster. That's when it's safe to take them down. Only part of the truth is allowed out. Only what doesn't expose the others in power. R. Kelly fell. Now Diddy is falling. And according to Jaguar, Jay-Z is next. Jaguar has been talking about all this for years. Asked about Diddy's parties, she didn't sugarcoat a thing: money and sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties. She wasn't shocked by the news about cameras in his homes. She wasn't shocked about Cassie allegedly being told to hire male escorts for freak-offs. She's been saying this publicly for years. People called her crazy, clout chaser, bitter ex-artist with an axe to grind. And now, after Diddy's conviction, everyone acts surprised. Everyone pretends they didn't know. But Jaguar was screaming it all along. Everybody knew, she said. Freak-offs. Yeah, everybody knew. The real question isn't why we didn't know. It's why we didn't listen. And through all this, don't forget the real victims. The people who suffered while the industry looked away. Jaguar says tens of thousands are waiting for justice. Tens of thousands. Kim Porter, Justin Bieber, Cassie, Nat Tanya Rubin, Little Rod, Tyarara Marie, even Princess Love, Biggie, P, Nippy, Pimpy, her son Javon. Jaguar says if she's forced to testify, it could end her life. She knows the risks. She knows what these people are capable of. And yet, she speaks. That's bravery. That's courage. That's truth over personal safety. Whether you believe her or not, respect that. Respect someone willing to risk everything for the voiceless. So here's where we are. The Netflix documentary might top the charts. Everyone's talking about it at work, online, everywhere. But Jaguar wants you to know, what you saw is just the tip of the iceberg. The real reckoning hasn't even started. And honestly, more people are likely to come forward. Once one breaks the silence, it gives others permission to speak too. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Jaguar have a point? Did 50 Cent make this documentary for justice, or for his own agenda? Is Jay-Z really next? I read every comment, so let me hear your take. See you in the next one.